Most people think transformation comes from doing more effort, more discipline, more motivation. But real change doesn't begin with what you do. It begins with what you choose to control. Because here's the truth. You can't control the world, the economy, other people, or the past. And the more energy you spend trying to control what was never yours to command, the more powerless you feel. But when you focus on the few things that are truly within your reach, something remarkable happens. Clarity replaces chaos, confidence replaces anxiety, and progress stops feeling accidental. The highest performers, the most fulfilled leaders, and the people who seem unshakable in uncertain times don't have better luck. They have better control, not over everything, but over the right things. Today isn't about fixing your entire life. It's about identifying four critical levers that quietly shape every outcome you experience. When these are unmanaged, life feels reactive and exhausting. When they are controlled with intention, your direction changes immediately. This isn't about overnight miracles or empty motivation. It's about understanding how transformation actually works from the inside out. Because when you control these four things, you don't just change your habits. You change how you show up, how you decide, and ultimately where your life goes. So if you're ready to stop reacting and start leading your own life, let's begin. Most people believe their life is shaped by the opportunities they get, the people they meet, or the problems they face. But long before any of that matters, life is shaped by what you choose to pay attention to. Focus is not neutral. Whatever you consistently look at grows in importance, while everything else quietly fades into the background. When your focus is scattered, your energy is scattered. When your focus is intentional, your actions begin to align without force. Your mind is constantly asking one question, whether you realize it or not. What matters most right now? And the answer is determined by where your attention goes. If your focus is trapped in fear, comparison, or distraction, your decisions will follow. You may work harder, but you won't move forward. You may stay busy, but you won't feel fulfilled. This is why so many capable people feel stuck despite their potential. Focus is a discipline, not a feeling. You don't wait to feel clear before choosing where to direct your attention. You decide first, and clarity follows. The moment you take control of your focus, you reclaim your ability to choose progress over noise. You stop reacting to every notification, every opinion, every setback, and instead begin responding with purpose. What you focus on shapes your standards. It shapes what you tolerate, what you pursue, and what you believe is possible. When your focus is locked onto growth, learning, and contribution, obstacles lose their power to define you. They become information, not identity. Over time, this shift compounds. Small decisions feel easier. Discipline feels lighter. Confidence feels earned. The world will always compete for your attention, but it cannot decide for you. The quality of your life is directly tied to the quality of your focus, and the moment you choose to control it, you stop being pulled by life and start directing it. Life has a way of presenting moments we didn't plan for, didn't ask for, and often don't deserve. And yet, we spend an extraordinary amount of energy wishing those moments were different. We blame the timing, the people, the system, the unfairness of it all, but circumstances are indifferent to our wishes. They don't respond to frustration, and they don't change because we argue with reality. What does change everything is the way we choose to respond. Between what happens to you and what you do next, there is a space. In that space lives your power. Most people surrender that power without realizing it, reacting automatically based on habit, emotion, or fear. They raise their voice, shut down, give up, or lash out, not because it's who they want to be, but because it's what they've practiced. Over time, these reactions feel justified, even necessary, yet they quietly reinforce a sense of helplessness. Controlling your response is not about suppressing emotion or pretending things don't hurt. It's about refusing to let temporary circumstances dictate permanent behavior. When you pause even briefly, you interrupt the pattern. You choose curiosity over anger, responsibility over blame, intention over impulse. That choice may feel small, but it reshapes how others experience you and how you experience yourself. Leaders are not defined by the absence of pressure, but by their behavior under it. The same challenge can break one person and refine another, not because the challenge is different, but because the response is. When you take ownership of how you respond, you stop waiting for life to be easier and start becoming stronger. You may not control delays, rejection, loss, or uncertainty, but you always control your attitude, your words, and your next action. And when your response is aligned with your values rather than your emotions, you create consistency in a world that is anything but predictable. Every experience you go through carries no bill. Meaning, the events themselves are neutral. What gives them power is the story you attach to them. Two people can walk through the same failure, the same loss, the same rejection, and walk away with completely different futures. The difference is not in what happened, but in what it came to represent. Human beings are meaning-making creatures. We don't just experience life, we interpret it. And those interpretations quietly shape our identity. When something goes wrong, the mind looks for an explanation. If the meaning becomes "I'm not good enough," or "this always happens to me," the experience hardens into a limitation. But if the meaning becomes "this is feedback," or "this is preparation," the same moment becomes fuel. The danger is that we often assign meaning unconsciously. We repeat the same stories until they feel like truth. Over time, those stories influence our confidence, our choices, and our willingness to take risks. We don't see the world as it is, we see it as we believe it to be. And belief, more than circumstance, determines direction. When you take control of meaning, you reclaim authorship of your life. You stop letting past moments dictate future behavior. Pain no longer defines you, it informs you. Failure no longer labels you, it teaches you. This doesn't erase difficulty, but it changes how deeply it wounds and how long it lasts. The most resilient people are not those who avoid hardship, but those who refuse to let hardship decide who they become. They consciously choose interpretations that align with growth, responsibility, and purpose. In doing so, they transform setbacks into structure and adversity into alignment. Life will keep happening, challenges will keep arriving. But when you control the meaning you assign to every experience, you ensure that nothing you go through is ever wasted, and everything becomes part of your forward move.